Hey, Fran fam. Welcome to Life and Style with Francyne. I am your host, Francyne Walker. And if you are interested in starting a business, thinking about starting a business, second guessing yourself for starting a business, then you need to tune in to my next guest, my Chi-Town sister, Audrey Woodley. She's a life coach, brand strategist, author, and entrepreneur. Let me emphasize serial entrepreneur. So she knows what she's talking about. So please join me in welcoming Audrey to the show. Hey, Audrey.
Hello, beauties. How are you guys doing?
We are doing well. We are excited to hear your story, to hear some strategies, to hear, just some things that can encourage us all on this entrepreneurial journey. Talk
Definitely.
about how you became an entrepreneur, your background, what made you start a business, and what kind of businesses have you started?
Okay. So like the story of how I got into entrepreneurship, it started from the family. It's like in my bloodline. It started from my grandmother. Always had a 9 to 5. She worked at Cook County Hospital as a essential worker for years. And then she always had like another place to go after work because she would get off in the morning. So my grandmother had a secondhand store and she would sell clothes. And
Oh, wow.
then, yes, she would sell clothes. And then she also sold Avon. So my grandmother just kind of like started a family in really pretty much owning businesses and paying cash. So along that journey, my mother came along right behind my grandmother, and my grandmother and my mother, they all had like a little, I want to say a chicken shack, like they sold food. So we
Yeah.
had a restaurant, then we had the secondhand store, then we had a game room and a candy room. So it's kind of like been in our bloodline to have a business. But I decided I was going to go to school, finish, and be a little old teacher.
Yeah.
I was going to be a little teacher, and not knowing that I was going to eventually say, you know what, I want to do my own thing because I wanted to give back. Because that's one of the two main things my family stuck with was family and giving back to the community. So I wanted to give back. So I basically started Changing Oasis, which is my organization. And I basically started because I wanted to help basically moms and women that were looking for support and building leadership and also helping single moms that didn't have it. So I started it back in 2009 with just knowing it was my heart to give back because this is what I saw my family do. And then fast forward, I had people to help me along the way in building my 501c3, getting funded. And it's been self-funded, mind you guys. Remember, profit. It's been self-funded by my full-time job. So I didn't quit my full-time job when I started my business.
Yeah. And you know what? I like that you say that. It's good to emphasize the fact that starting a business does not require you to quit your 9 to 5 or whatever your shift is. You
Right.
can do both as your grandmother did, as your mom,
Yeah.
it takes a certain amount of energy,
Yeah.
right? But
Yes.
at the same time, I think it's important, even in this climate,
Yes.
as we've seen, to have um, multiple streams of income. Would you agree?
Multiple streams. Yes. And like we were like talking about, when is it a good time to start a business? And why do people wait? And for me, I didn't want to wait. I knew it was going to cost money. So a lot of times people don't do it because they're afraid because of the cost. And yes, it's going to cost for marketing. It's going to cost to have someone to help you. But the most costly mistake is not starting it,
Yeah,
not
true.
starting your business. So right now, it's a great time to start your business. Even though we're in a pandemic, there are still people starting a business, getting millions of dollars. They're getting grants, they're
Yeah,
getting loans, they're getting partnerships. There's loans out and grants out with LISC, LISC, and with PayPal. Do you know they're still giving out money? And so a lot of people say, well, how do you start a business and what do you need to do? So I hear a lot of people say, well, they're charging me to get an EIN number. I was like, are you serious? That's they're charging people to just get an EIN number, and it's free on IRS.gov. It's really.
But you know what, Audrey? That's a business. People have made a business out of starting a business, and it's like when I got my EIN number, I don't remember paying anybody for my LLC other than the fees. You know what I mean? That you pay to the state.
Yeah, and I think the costly mistake is not knowing. So people are making you pay because you don't know. So you're not paying because it's free. You're paying because you're getting their information. And even though you can probably go on YouTube and find it, but you want it from a certain person, they're gonna charge you. You know what I'm saying? So they're charging you for being slow.
Well, you know what? Don't you think though, a lot of times, you know, are you a teacher? Were you went to school?
Yeah.
You were a teacher. So you're probably more resourceful than a lot of people, you know. You're a teacher, so you're going to probably Google. I'm a journalist. I'm definitely going to Google, you know, things that I want. I'll put that whole question in the search box if it means getting my answer. And it's not to say that that's the best way to search something, but the thing is search, you know. So a lot of people don't know. Is that where you come in?
Yeah, I think for the most part, people don't even use the Google search. They don't even know what word to type in. And since you're saying that, people use a lot of YouTube search as opposed to Google search. But that will be the first thing I would do is search for something that I want and not necessarily going to YouTube. I will go to YouTube for more like the how-tos or something.
Sure.
And I will to Google more for information on how to start a business, how to run a business, and how to find grants. I will do that more on Google. But you're right. But you have to start somewhere, and you start by making mistakes. Everything is not going to be 100% the way you want it to be when you first start. But surely as time goes on, you learn by your mistakes and get better at what you're doing.
Yes, I agree.
So when we hire someone like you, we can't just pay you what we want. We have to pay you for the time that you put into your business and your resources, and we have to pay you for your network.
Yes. Now, what kind of business would you suggest someone start? And I'm asking this rhetorically, you know, because it probably depends, but how would you suggest someone go about? It's like, Audrey, I don't know what to do. Start a business. What kind of business? You know, what I mean, a business. I can't start a business. I don't have time. I don't have money. Audrey, what are you talking about?
Wait, that was a multiple answer right there. So a lot of times, since I am a coach and a teacher, I sometimes look into your skills and your gift that you already have, and I can pretty much help you with that. So even if you don't know, a coach, a skill coach, and an entrepreneur, they will kind of like ask you questions, and they will probably help you form that. But if you don't have a coach or a mentor to help you form that, you really won't know. So as a coach, I have one of my cousins. She's a young girl. She's in her 20s. She wanted to know how to start a business. So I just look at her background, and I said, you know what, won't you start in retail? That seems more like she can sell, you know, stuff that she's already using. And I give her the steps of what she should be doing. So the first thing you want to do when you're thinking about starting a business, ask someone, what do you think I'm good at? What will people come to me for? So if you like to cook cookies, you already know you're gonna be baking something. That's good. If you already showing up on Instagram and you're styling and everything, and you want to know what business, you can have a business in blogging and marketing other people's pieces. So I think the first thing is knowing what to ask a person before you start your business so you know what to do. because everybody has different skills and talents. You might be good at graphic design. So sure, you're not going to start a retail, right?
Sure.
You can start something in helping people build their brand in graphics online. You're not going to start in retail because that's not your lane. So you're going to feel like pretty awkward. But if you're good in finance, you think I'm about to go to retail? I'm going to say, hey, I think you need to start consulting people on how to do their books, how to set up their profit and loss. So knowing that when you're a coach and knowing kind of like their skills, you can help them shape and form it and then help them set up their entity where they can grow into their business.
Sure. So you take on someone at their, at that brainstorming stage.
Yes.
Then help them, then do the, create these steps for them to follow. Because a lot of times people just, like I said, I was taking on this role where it's like, Audrey, I don't know. I mean, but at the same time, because there are people that, first of all, don't know where to start, as we're talking about. And it sounds like you need to play to your strengths and your passions. Like, I'm not an accountant, but if I were, then I might do taxes, or I might do, a business books. So there it is, a second stream of income, right there. But do you think it takes a certain level of, with a coach, you have that level of accountability, correct?
And confidence.
But the confidence, do you think the confidence comes with doing?
The confidence is knowing that somebody is supporting you in your idea and your goals and your dreams.
Okay.
And it makes it so much better as opposed to you forcing it. It's like you have the confidence to go and do it now. Just imagine not having no one to support you, to call you, or to help you go through those nights where you're just confused. And to have that support, it makes you go further than a person that don't have it at all.
Yeah. I saw a post on Facebook, Instagram, I can't remember, and it said 6 figures is $274 a day. What could you do to make $274 a day? Now, we're not even talking your 9 to 5. We're talking extra and not touch.
Right.
Like, I got excited and I started to
what did you do to make $274 a day? Wow.
Yeah. I started doing like Russell Crowe, Beautiful Mind, like, okay, trying to calculate that amount, that.
Look at this. You see how we're interviewing? This is $274 a day that somebody needs to advertise their business. Come on with it. You see what I'm saying? People need advertising. This is let's pay her. Let's get this going, because guess what? This is an imprint. And then if you Google,
you already read my mind and confirmed what's already in the flow.
Come on now. So this is a way to advertise. And this will show up in SEO because it's on Facebook. So it will show up for you. It will show up.
Come on now.
Yes.
You know what? You just blessed me. But wait a minute. But that's why you are Audrey Woodley, the life coach, brand strategist, author, and entrepreneur, right? So what are some of the businesses that you've started? Obviously, you have a knack at just calling out. And I wasn't even talking about me. I was just saw that and thought, wow. And it's right in front of you a lot of times.
All the time. We overlook it.
Why wouldn't you bake? Why wouldn't you sell cookies? If you love to bake, why wouldn't you bake? Like, I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? And you can pick and choose. Like, I'm a journalist. I'm a writer. I might not do resumes, but I might do something that I like, because it's like, how many people have paid me to write a letter?
That's another income.
to break a lease or to get them in school or to get them a grant or to, you know what I mean? So
yes,
that comes naturally for me, but I'm not going to
so
do
I call
something.
that to me, I call that entrepreneur by accident on that point, because you're not looking for that. That is just coming. And that's the easiest money because
Yeah.
you're not looking for it. So
Yeah.
entrepreneurs by accident, you guys, kudos to you guys. You don't even have to struggle for the market, the client, or anything, because people are coming to you already. But
All
what
the
if you're
time.
not an entrepreneur by accident?
Yes, that's what, and we need, those are the people that probably, well, we all need the information that you have, but
Yeah.
someone that really needs to be encouraged, because nobody should be without multiple streams of income. So what about that person that may not see it, or it's not by accident? They need a little bit of prodding.
So if you're not an entrepreneur by accident, here are a few things you can do. You can start reading books, right? Reading books, listening to lives like this that will give you an aha moment. Come up with a book. Come up with a little, what do you call it? An ebook of something that you already have gifts and skills in. So if you're a smart, let's say, like you're really good in real estate, write an ebook on the 10 steps on how to close a deal. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yes, girl.
So if you're not an entrepreneur by accident, you gotta boost your confidence by at least creating an ebook or something, and you can do that right on your computer, and you can say, hey, can you all, that will really boost your confidence, and you can sell the ebook for like $7 to $9, and that will help boost your spirits, because there's nothing like you're starting a business and then nothing is selling. So you start selling it and getting people out there. And then another way, if you're not an entrepreneur by accident, is networking, which is what I kind of like did at the beginning, because I was just known as a teacher. I wasn't known to, be a coach or anything specific like that. So I had to network my butt off. I had to pay for memberships. So whatever your field or your market is, like say for instance, if you are a cook, you might have to get into some type of membership where there are all these chefs around and be in that market and you talk. So it's almost like aligning yourself up in groups that's going to complement you.
Yeah.
Who do you, what other business can you complement yourself with? So because you're going to have competition, because if people see that you're doing it, of course, they're going to want to do it. So a way to complement yourself with another influencer or someone that may need your service, and create your website in your domain first. And of course, build your little website so you can have an online business presence.
Now, I like that you said that, and it reminded me to bring this point about where that is very common, Audrey, for people to push back because someone else is already doing what I'm doing, Audrey. So I don't know. I can't do that. I don't, they're having that.
Listen to this. Everyone is designed by God uniquely. I have something uniquely that somebody else may not have. Like if I'm going to bake those cookies, you best believe they're going to be infused or something. They might be having lavender in it. It might be something my mama told me about a recipe.
Yes.
So you have to be uniquely.
Yeah, the secret sauce is you.
Right. So, and some people gonna come looking for you just for that, for the cookies, and because you have your secret sauce in it. Yes.
So you are basically saying once again, and it was so funny because I was getting ready to come talk.
And you're beautiful, by the way. I like. Let's just do this. Let's just say, let's compliment. You are beautiful. I went to your page. I said, let me go to your LinkedIn. She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. She has herself together. And this is how you want to show up for your business. Whether you got money in the bank or not, you want to look like money and you want to talk like money.
Well, let me return the compliment, not because you gave me one, but because it's true. it was like, oh, when I was putting everything together, it's like, we look cute together. But as far as my promos, it's like, thank you. This is, as I was getting ready, I usually go live, just to talk about who I'm going to interview, do my makeup, and sometimes give some tips. It's kind of like wisdom from the vanity table. And so I wanted to talk about confidence, and so I was talking about confidence. It's so funny that you're talking about confidence when in my, earlier I was getting ready live and talking about the importance of confidence and how you need to have it. So it sounds to me like you need to have confidence in who you are and what you offer, and not even worry about everybody else, the saturated market. Let me tell you something, Audrey. I posted the other day, Tiffany's. Everybody knows Tiffany's, right?
Yeah.
Had a paper clip on their website. For how much? You want to guess how much it was? I won't worry about it.
Is it $750? Is it
$1,500 for a paper clip?
Okay.
But do you know how many other people have paper clips? How many? Staples sells paper clips. Office Depot sells paper clips.
Okay, so now let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the brand. Let's talk about brand credit, brand visibility. So everybody knows when you first start off in your brand, you might not have everything that you need, but your brand presence on your personal page is just as important on your business page. So when you start talking about your brand, it's your way that you talk, it's the way that you show up, it's the way you put on your wigs, it's the way you put on your clothes.
Baby,
this is all your brand. And when you add on logo, when you add on your website, that's just like that's added value. But you are your brand. And I think it takes a while into their role. Even being a teacher, even being someone that's in a figure, it's like you have to get into the mold and feel yourself so you can feel comfortable inside of it, so you'll know how to speak it. Because sometimes you might not be as clear as you want to be, but the more you practice, the better and better you get at it. Do you think I've been like this all the time? Heck no. I made mistakes.
Yeah, girl. I'm telling you.
You are a journalist. Excuse me, people. You all need to be knocking on her door. She's a journalist. Do you know you have one if you're in PR?
It's so funny because I'm going to tell you my personal testimony in this pandemic, how God was like, I was looking around and this has always been my goal, to have my own talk show and whatnot. And so I was doing it, going to places with my tripod and my phone. I only had a phone and lavalier mics, and people were like, oh,
here's a tripod. And she said her phone. That's what she had.
That's all I had. And everybody thought I had this huge tripod with my phone and my lavalier mics, which I would hook up. I didn't have lights or anything. I showed up, and every time I showed up, it's like, oh, you're serious? I'm thinking, if I'm taking my time and your time, you bet your bottom bippy I'm serious, right? So the pandemic hits, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
And so God was just like, launch it.
Come on.
Launch it and perfect it later. Didn't I tell you? I said, this is my studio. I'm in my room. And as I've gone on, I'm looking, it's like, okay, I got to get my green screen. I got to get some more lights, all those things, but and I just been going. It's like, I didn't think about my bedroom and you can see my curtain. You can see, I was just like, we going.
Yes. As one of my coaches said, do it unsexy.
Girl,
Do it.
Because the secret sauce is me. So
that is true. That is so true. And
I love to hear the confirmation and the affirmation. It's like, yeah, I'm on the right track, and I want anybody else and everybody that is watching to understand it is not going to be perfect out the gate. It's so many things.
You just mentioned that. So what are some of the pitfalls of being an entrepreneur? Like what are 5 pitfalls?
Yeah, please give us. Yeah.
One of the pitfalls is really, number 1 is not doing your homework. That's one of the pitfalls. You're just doing it. So make sure you do a little bit of homework, research, find out the ins and the outs. That's one of the pitfalls. Number 2, one of the pitfalls is you paying money to people that has no experience in it, and then you getting mad at them. You pay them. So your second thing is make sure you cover with a contract or something, or do a deposit. Never try to pay all of it at once, because I guarantee you're not getting your money back if you pay them full. So do your research.
Yeah.
Make sure you have some type of contract about your work and what you're going to give them, and then have a contract where, am I right? Cancel at any time and not paying.
Wait a minute. Now, let me say, you know what? When I've done writing, I'm like half up front. I don't start anything. Half. And you will get the full draft.
Come on.
After I get my other half. You don't even get the full draft of something. You know what I mean? Because I've been burned where it's like, wait a minute, I didn't like this and I want my money back. I said, you will not get the deposit back because I've already done the work.
Yes. Yeah. At least the deposit. Yes.
You can, I hold on to half for the work that I've done. Now you can go somewhere else.
It's non-refundable.
So it's those kinds of things. But so make sure you get a contract, make sure you put down half, right? Or make sure you are not putting down the whole amount, right? So that's 3, right?
Yeah. And then number 4, don't think nobody, like, just be ready for the copycat and the competition.
Yeah.
Just be ready, because remember, everybody is looking for a way to be lazy and not do the work. Yeah. They're not sitting there making the content. They're not sitting there going to do the marketing that they need to do. They're sitting back waiting on you. There's nothing more frustrating than every time you post, they post the same thing you did. I'm like, wait a minute, did I just post that? So
Has that happened to you? Has that happened to you?
What has happened? It has happened. Yeah. This has happened where I've written something and one of my coaches took my stuff and I did not have an agreement, so you got to have an NDA agreement. Even with the coach.
Yes.
You have to have it anyway. And when I did my first so when I first started out, I didn't think of doing all that. I just wanted to do business. But when I accidentally started working on Better Destination Media, I realized, I need to have things in place, because now I'm publishing. Now I'm writing articles. Now I want to start doing government contracts. Now I want to do city contracts. So I'm in a whole nother ball game as opposed to just me going in and, starting an entrepreneurship. I want to get contracts. So I got to understand the language. So now hire you an attorney or hire someone like yourself that knows how to write, so you can put all your verbiage in the right place.
Yes.
Invest in legal counsel, invest in a writer, invest in a journalist that's going to help you.
Yeah.
Big or small, you don't have to be that big. I know a lot of people charge money, but you have to go to places where people are going and ask around and get a referral before you just throw in a towel and say, I can't do it, or get burned or scam. Make sure you get a referral.
Now, you mentioned something about the copycats. How do you safeguard against that when you do an ebook?
So when you do an ebook, it's pretty much, you are already pretty much copywritten your own thing. You don't have to necessarily go to the Library of Congress, get an EIN number or anything like that. You just trust that nobody's about to take your whole book, because it has been done. I've seen it done before. Take all of your stuff and then resell it. So you're like, what the hell? Because
Girl,
they're gonna do that. They're gonna do it. So the only way I can say this is just to always be on the lookout. If you see somebody has made a copy of your stuff word for word, I would just like, I don't think you all know this, but she has life and style with Francyne, right?
yes.
I went in just for the sake of my brand, because it's a lifestyle brand. I went in and got a trademark for Audrey and Company Wellness and Lifestyle. I trademarked that baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only way I know to safeguard yourself is making sure that you do get a copyright. But you don't necessarily have to do it for the ebook. But if somebody has copied your stuff word for word and you know that it's yours and you have proof that it was done on this day, you can send them your own cease and desist and like, hey,
Okay.
that's all mine. This is it right here. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of times you will have to contact an attorney. Like I had to contact an attorney, and of course she didn't want to talk without me depositing a fee. Because I said she stole my work and she just upped the content on me.
Yeah.
How you steal my work and you up the content? And guess what? I believe in this. I believe in, if God has given you something, nobody can take it away. It's not going to go anywhere and it's not going to flourish because he gave it to you. So don't give up hope on you, whatever that you were doing, because if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. It's not meant for them. It can only go so far because God didn't give it to them. He gave it to you. So you continue your journey. You might have to put down a couple of dollars and invest in an attorney to help you stay protected. I do know that because it's going to happen. It's inevitable.
It goes back to not be afraid to invest in yourself and in your business, right? Like you can't not eventually, I started, and I not to insert myself, but at the same time, it's like I had a phone and a tripod. Then when I came home, it's like, oh, I need more equipment. So it's like I had to get a laptop that was portable, had to invest in that, had to invest in lights. So, now had to invest in someone looking at this and trademarking that. So it's all things, if you really want to what's the word I want to say, up the ante as it relates to your business, because it should not be a fly-by-night thing. You really should make this not just a second income, but something that you could almost leave as as part of your legacy.
Absolutely. It's a way to also help you doing taxes. Like you have your business, like they always tell you, have a business.
Yes.
So all of your taxes just won't just go to anywhere. You're funding your business, and it's okay to fund your business, and it's okay to pay yourself in your business. People that are creating their businesses, this is the best time, because like I said again, we didn't know how important it was to have a business.
Yeah, you said that.
We just didn't know. We thought it was just a joke for people to be online selling stuff. This was never a joke. No. When I found out that I could have been building my business credit, because last year, people don't know, I didn't have my job last year. I was barely putting gas in the car. So I found a group online that was talking about business credit, okay? They was talking about how to get business credit cards so I could put gas in my car. They was talking about how to buy things off Uline because I didn't have certain things that I needed that I should have been building my business credit.
Sure.
And I started somewhere. It might have been, I started in 2009 with something, but I'm still new when it came to the fact that I was funding my own business and didn't really take advantage of building my business credit, which I should be at about 80,000 now. So right now I'm building business credit for Better Destination Media, and I want to help other women and authors and speakers understand that this is not a game. This is for real. Some
Yeah.
people can't even
Yeah.
use their personal credit because they've screwed it up. So having a business right now is for real.
Yeah.
Like somebody might pay you right now. If you haven't, say for instance, you never used your EIN number, that's called shelf life. 5 years old, somebody might come and buy that off you right now because they need it like they need their breath. So start the business. Start the business.
Yeah. And I will say this, it makes a difference with those brands.
Yeah.
It makes a difference, you know, because they're asking for EINs, all kinds of things. It's like, oh, I'm so glad
I'm glad you said that. So I had got a call today because I applied for a Home Depot commercial card. They said, "Hello, Miss Woodley," and this is for my business, but they want a personal guarantee. Everybody knows they want they want to see your personal credit because some people done screwed all that up. So they was like, "We need you to unlock your Transunion." I believe not Transunion, Equifax.
Yes.
I think Equifax is the devil. I'm like, of all people, Home Depot commercial credit wants Equifax? Are you freaking serious? I said, oh, dang it. And I had it froze. They said, well, your application is here, right? Mm-hmm. So when you unlock it, call us back with this application number so we can get this on through. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock it so I can build on my business credit because it's so important to understand. Lock your stuff up because it's supposed to be no PG. So that's part of building your business.
Now, so Better Destinations Media is your media company.
Yes.
And then you have the Unbreakable store.
Yes. So the Unbreakable store goes back to the Audrey and Company LLC.
Okay.
I put my lifestyle store because when I first started out, I knew I wanted to be in beauty. I knew I wanted to be in fashion. And when I would talk to my coaches, they would looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, why don't nobody understand me? Because I came out of the retail and fashion industry. So let me tell you something. Let me see if I can grab it. So I started, this is my box. It was called Fearless, Resilient, and Unbreakable. I didn't just make this up yesterday, guys. I promise you. This was already created like 3 or 4 years ago. So sometimes you could be ahead of yourself or ahead of your dream, and you could be so far ahead that people don't realize. Well, people do realize it, they try to block it. But if you go to my store, audreyandfun.com, you're going to see that I have those t-shirts. Fearless, Unbreakable, and Resilient. Because that's what you have to be in this business. You can't let anybody tear you down or get you down. Yeah. You have to be unbreakable and have meaning if somebody if somebody comes and blow on you, just pop back up and go back at it. Because it's your money, it's your dream, and you have to sometimes fight for where you want to be. Fight a good fight, you know. So when
go ahead. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I have to tell you, Audrey, you're first of all, you have a very contagious spirit. It it's like, oh, where you just want to run. Like as soon as I get off, before after I eat dinner, like, okay, what else can I do? I mean, it has been very informative for me.
Yeah.
As the interviewer, the host, because we all have. I know I have to see. I've seen the necessity of having multiple streams and adding. So it's like, just being it's important. I think it just speaks to the fact that we need to be around like-minded people, whether it's virtually, whether you are watching a YouTube or reading somebody's encouragement book or whatever, because you are an author. So, we have to stay in the flow, stay in the path.
Stay
So,
in the flow. Yeah.
stay in the flow, stay around people. Like I'm saying, you have this great, and when I say contagious, it's like you just catch on, and it's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to roll. But I guess that speaks to your strength and your what you
Yeah.
are.
And as an entrepreneur, you're gonna find yourself, I find myself sometimes, because I have the knowledge, you're still gonna have hurdles. One of
Yeah,
my biggest hurdles was always finding a graphic designer that stuck with me. So that's gonna always be, for me, that
yeah,
has always been a revolving door.
yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
then you can always have the same graphic designer, because I'm telling you, some graphic designers, they design for themselves, but they're supposed to be designing for you. That look like your stuff. That don't look like my stuff, because they have one set of way of designing. So keep a couple of designers on hand for you. You might have a designer or someone for your personal brand. So my personal brand, of course, is Audrey Woodley, and my personal lifestyle store is audreyandfun.co, because I want to have an e-commerce store. You gotta have an e-commerce store. You know, if you have a Shopify or a Squarespace, get it. Get yourself in the door, because if you're not able to go back out to the store anymore, how are you gonna sell anything? You gotta sell online and
Yeah.
ship. And so
Girl,
Amazon is
you are ministering to me for real.
you can go
Yeah.
sell on Amazon, go sell on your store, and you might have to pay a little bit for e-commerce. You might, like for Squarespace, because there's another tier and you're selling as a store, you might have to have that e-commerce payment style there, or you can sell straight on your website. If you have Square Up, Square Up is a little bit different from Squarespace, because Square Up is basically all e-commerce.
Yeah.
All
Mm.
e-commerce. You don't have to worry about upselling or trying to get an upgrade, because it's already an e-commerce store. You just put your product there and you're done. You could do that there, but start somewhere so you'll have have a foot traffic, because the first thing that someone wants to know, where's the invoice? How you been getting paid? And making sure that it's connected to your business checking account. So all of your accounts and all of your e-commerce needs to be connected to your EIN number, which you register for at the bank, and it's going to all come together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just like, I could just, it's like, this was good. This was really good.
Yeah.
And so it's part of your business. Do you take on clients and walk them through? Is that part of your practice? Do you practice,
Yes. So what I did was, like, say for instance, everybody knows SBA has been around for over 40, 50, 100 years, right? So
Yeah.
they've been around. So when the pandemic came, everybody was getting the grants and they was getting the loans. I had an opportunity to be a loan officer, and I added another role to my brand. But I don't really push
Yeah.
loan officer. But as a loan officer, I would say this. I created a checklist. I did an ebook, and I made it how to, get to 2K, how to get 10K. So I created a checklist first. And then I said, well, what about these people that want to be SBA certified? Like, your business could be SBA certified and you can get grants and contracts with SBA. So what I did was I created a video and I walked everyone through how to register and what to do to be SBA certified. So I didn't even know that I was going to be even working as a loan officer with SBA. I was doing it because I am a certified SBA with Better Destination Media. So you see how everything like worked out for me.
Yes.
So now I get to, say, hey, as a loan officer, you need to have X, K, Y, and Z. As a matter of fact, I did a webinar and a masterclass on it, and I posted it on PayHip. So those that are interested in like first getting registered with SBA, they can buy either the ebook or they can either buy the webinar masterclass, where it can show them how to do everything step by step. Because some people, They need to be held while they're working on their business. If you let them go, they're going to lose it. So as a coach and as a mentor and as a journalist, some people, their mindset is not there, which is very key. And having someone that's done it before and have success is very key, because people buy your success. They don't care about nothing else. They want to know what has been your success. What are people saying about you?
Yeah, because and again, as just even taking my own, case study, where it's like launch then perfect, and it's like, man, I need a production company, and it's like,
wow,
well, why aren't you a production company? Like, why wouldn't you have your own production company for your show, and then you can employ people, right? So, but I had to get there.
The mindset. And you had to know it was there for you all the time. But sometimes you're not there yet. And then once your mind gets to that point, it starts thinking, and then the world start working around that idea that you have.
Yes.
It begins to work for you in the flow. So doable. Yeah. Production. And people probably would love to work for you for free and do interns. Like, we want to help you build that out.
And you know what? It's funny you say that, because years ago, people would say, how can I intern with you? And at the time, I said, intern with me? What are you talking about? And I don't have anything, I wasn't in that space. As far as I just never thought about it. And so here I am 10 years later. It's like, yeah, I definitely need some assistance, but also learning how to relinquish some control and have some.
That's the key. Relinquish some control, and at the same time still protect your assets.
Yes.
Yeah, protect your assets. And since you're a journalist, you got to put that contract in place for interns, like what they can do, what they cannot do when they leave. This is what you cannot do. You can have this, but you can't have that. Have it in place, just like Oprah did. Oprah had contracts in place for everybody for her production company.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you want to add before we close out? This has been so we can find. I'm sorry, I want to make sure we can find the information for all the information, all the ebooks and all of that, because this is vital information people need, and they can get it right here, and they don't have to search. They can just listen
right here. Right.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing for people to take away tonight is, like, this pandemic really has shown us that no matter where you are in life, start the business, and this is no better time than to do it now because it's a pandemic. So it's like there is a lot of support out there for women of color, for men, for people that just thought it was over for them in their business, for restaurants, for people that own restaurants. This is a great time. And this is a great time also to move your business from brick and mortar to digital to virtual. This is a great time to do it. So if there's money out there, this is a great time to hire you someone to help you move your service online and start doing pop-ups around this time as well.
You just gave me another idea, because folk gonna need somebody to write it up. As far as, because it's like, man, I really like to think, well, I'm thankful that I have been gifted with something where it's like somebody couldn't even get where they were not, taken out of their master's program because they were in a house fire, so everything they lost, lost focus. They had to focus on their shelter, like, they were living in hotels. So
let me tell you what I wanted to tell you. So with Better Destination Media, I kind of fell into that, because as being a writer and a self-publisher, I wanted something to go under my own business, business. So it was almost done by accident, and it was trial and error. Nothing came to me for the free. Every trip of Better Destination Media came with a price. Even when I got my WBE certification, my MBE, and my DBE. And you say, well, what do you do with all of those certifications? I work with construction. Men don't have their back office together. They need some people to help them with their applications. And then I offer job opportunities under Better Destination Media to help them get into the construction and to also help them fine tune the process of what it would be their next step. Like some men don't have a business bank account. They don't have insurance. They just don't have.
That's a niche right there for you.
Yes.
Because you have to be resourceful, and you got to be strategic. And do you find that my girl says, Tiffany, we were talking earlier, she says, I'm just tuning in, but I'm going to have to listen from the top layer because I walked in on Audrey giving a whole word.
Yes. And because I want to respect everyone for their time. What you need to do when you have your business, I always do this because I don't know if you all know, but you have to keep a document at your table because somebody might call you. Like, I don't know if you all know this, but I know my EIN number like I know my social security number now.
Oh, girl, you know what? Let me start memorizing mine. Right
I'm
now.
telling you, I fill out a lot of grants and stuff. I know that number like my social security number for Better Destination Media. I might not know it as much as Changing Oasis because when I first started out, they was like, you're not going to get no money. You are not for profit. So I always felt like, are you guys serious? I'm not going to be able to get any money? No, girl, you got a not-for-profit. But they do have money in the government for not-for-profits. Like, people are so, like, they're so used to having for-profits and S-corps. I just thought it wasn't going to happen. So I accidentally started a Better Destination Media because I got into marketing and media and stuff like that. And I wanted something of my own because I couldn't find a publicist. And then when I did find it, they were charging $2,500, $5,000. I'm like, where am I going? What we about to do?
Yeah.
So it's like by accident. And so I just went with it and I made my mistakes. Like I said, I wind up getting an account with Amazon. So if you're Amazon and you are an author, make sure you get an Amazon influencer account because you can get paid just to post products on your store. Amazon. Yes. You can get paid. Let's get paid, y'all. Let's get paid.
You know what? Let me go out here because my book is out there. It's like, and so, because with the Amazon influencer program, isn't that where because I see a lot of influencers do this, and I love it.
So if you have an Amazon and Instagram, they're gonna verify that you are an influencer, meaning you got to have over so many people following you on Instagram. So for me, I had to have the following because they will verify your account.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm getting that number up.
Make post that number. I'm going to share your Instagram so we can get your number up because we want you to be an influencer. And I get a couple of coins every now and then.
I know. If you use something, I have this one influencer I follow. She says, yes, on my Amazon storefront. She's always using something, whether it's a cup or a mug. Oh, I got it on my Amazon storefront. A wig, Amazon storefront. Yes,
okay,
I have bought wigs from Amazon. But so it's just been.
My books are on Amazon. You can go Google Audrey Woodley, Google Audrey Woodley on Amazon. I'm gonna pop up.
Hey, okay. My goodness, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to Miss Sharice Lawrence right?
Yes.
Thank you to her.
Yes.
And her company, her PR firm.
Yeah.
Because all are women, and we all are striving to be the best and support one another as our
Absolutely.
continues.
Absolutely. That's a, you know, I had a couple of my clients on the show, couple of weeks, matter of fact, week or two last week, and just talking about how we need to network. It's like no woman is an island unto themselves. We got whatever, you know, we have information, don't hoard it. And it's like we can still get paid and not hoard the information. So I certainly appreciate Sharissa, you know, a lot of the publicists that have made it possible for me to have, you know, exciting, amazing, great guests like yourself, because it's building my brand. To provide information for.
And I wanted you to give one tip to the audience about, you know, as an author and as being a serial entrepreneur, but especially an author, what is like some tips you can give authors or aspiring authors about their books and how to pitch it?
How to pitch it to
like, say for instance, depending on what the angle is of the book, because everybody has a story to tell with their book. So some people might be talking about how their transformation. Some people might be talking about money. So some people need to understand how to pitch it and where to pitch it to, because you can't pitch everything everywhere.
We could talk, but you tie it in. I mean, because I do social media.
I love it.
I do social media for other women-owned businesses, and shameless plug. But a lot of times I tie things back into
tie back. I love it, and that's
the captions. It's like you don't always have to sell. You have to connect, but you don't always have to sell.
Come on,
give some of that information out free. You know, make that connection with your audience.
And I love what you just did about the pitch, because you wasn't selling, but then guess what? Guess what I just did? How can I sign up? You was not even selling.
No. I found the pain point.
The quiet close.
Yeah, it was a pain point. It was basically, you know, nobody wants to gain weight, but they still want to eat. So it's like, that's a pain point. So it's like, okay, then this is how, now that you're saying that, it's like, you know, because, and that's what has happened, where people find your book or whatever it is, find the pain points. What are people staying up at night about? You know, it's like, oh my God. I know for me, I don't want to gain any more than the pandemic weight, but I'm still trying to lose. Okay. So
if I eat one more French fry,
if I eat one more French fry and another ice cream cone, I'm done. So it's like, I need to read my own book again. So what happens is you have to find that pain point. It's like, whatever it is, whatever your book is, mine just happens to be fitness. It might be how to even write a book. You know, where do I start? You just start. I wrote my first book in the airport because I was grounded. I missed 2 flights running late, and it was all in response to someone asking me, how are you going to keep the weight off? And that's when I decided to write a book with 50 tips. Now, have I adhered to all 50 tips? Not as of late. But I know the tips.
This is quarantine way, so we need to be talking about how. This is cool. Look at this, Francyne. How to unquarantine after the holidays.
See what I'm saying? See? So, you know, it really, I think, because there's that copywriter spirit in me where it's like, oh, let's tie this in. Let's make it sexy. Let's, let's catch the ear, with that. I've told people, shown people, it's like, tie it back in. I know how producers are always looking for stories. You got to tie it in. Yes. That's their pain point. Their pain point.
Key for you guys that are authors, speakers, coaches, find you someone like this young lady here. She's giving you guys tips.
That's so sweet. Yeah. And it really wasn't my intention, but thank you for asking me. But a lot of times you find out what people need. Producers really want you to write the story. Maybe you won't write the story as far as, because they have somebody who can do that. But if you set up a story already, then they can run with it, and they will always call upon you. And that's how you become an expert, because it's like, oh, let's call Audrey because she knows about how to open a business. She knows, some of the pitfalls. It's like, right now, and here's one. I'll give you one, Audrey.
Come on. I'm waiting.
How to, start a business like for Christmas. Like, you know what I mean? What can you need extra money? Start a business. That is time. See, I'm trained as a journalist. It's got to be updated, related, and relevant. Otherwise, nobody cares.
But to be honest, how many times I get the chance to talk to a Black female journalist? I did, and I just double did a Black female journalist. How many times do I get to talk to a journalist? It's hard to find you. Where do you come from? We don't get this. This is like epic.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Yeah.
And to find you here on Facebook, but again, it's having put in the work, investing in myself to find women like you, because we all need to have a journalist in our pocket.
But if I had not started in May of 2020 launching, nobody would have heard of me. Like, don't get me wrong, I am out there. Like, I do have a digital footprint. Right. But in this space, I don't know if I would have met you, right? Like, so
wait. Hold on for a second. You said you started it May of this year?
I relaunched the show in 2020, May 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm almost at 60 shows right now. I've done 60 episodes at this point. So
you are go ahead, girl. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That pandemic pushed you all the way out. All the way out.
I had no choice. I mean, it was either sink or swim. And I am spiritual, not religious. So when I got my spiritual guidance and when God said launch, I had to go. He said you're going to either emerge or submerge. And I was not going to submerge. Now, it's not to say that everybody needs to go and at the same pace, because this is a lot. This pandemic
is a lot. And you say it was either sink or swim. A lot of people may be in that position. And like you said, you got the confirmation from God. It's either now or never. Somebody as an entrepreneur, this might be their only stream of revenue. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
They don't have a 9-to-5, or they might not be able to get unemployment. This is it, because everything is shut down.
Yeah.
So people are hurting,
Yeah. Exactly. So, this for me, I had to make some decisions in some of the things. It's like, I worked in the public and as a brand ambassador, and I had to say, I'm a Black woman, and there's a lot of people in this space that don't want to wear masks, and you're telling me I can't enforce social distancing? No. I'm not going to put myself in danger arguing with somebody. Y'all don't pay me enough. Arguing with somebody to wear a mask, and they understood, like, no, I'm not putting myself in danger. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, I have to look at my own take inventory of my own gifts and skills and talents. And it's like, well, what can you do? It's like my teacher, my professor told me years ago, if you can write your ticket. And that is
yes, if you can write, you can eat.
You can eat.
I want to put this out there. So if you are an entrepreneur, an author, I would love for you all to contact myself or Miss Francyne to get on her show. You know, November is Authors Month.
Hey!
It's Authors Month, and we want to help you celebrate. We want to help you get out there. There's nothing like showing up for your business and you're not getting any sales. Just because you show up on Facebook, that's not all in all marketing plan.
No, it's not. I keep trying to tell people that. I do.
A partnership with Francyne where we can help you with your business, get yourself interviewed, make sure you set up on Amazon so I can share your book. We got a partnership, Francyne.
Hey, I love it, Audrey. I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, everything is going to develop as it's supposed to.
Yes.
So
let it manifest. Let it manifest.
Let it manifest. You know, again, we have to connect with other like-minded individuals, because a lot of people, a lot of women, they still need the wealth of knowledge that you have, the wealth of knowledge that I have. You know, there are things that people, you were saying, a lot of people don't even know how to communicate what it is they need, you know, or to communicate to someone that they need to get this funding from. You know, it's all about presentation, image.
And I think for you as a journalist, you know how to, you can look at somebody's work, you can look at what they've been doing, and you can spit it right out. Me as an author and a coach, I could look at somebody, look at their work, go back a few, go around some of the things they've been doing, and I could come up with what they should be doing. Yeah. It's a gift. It's a gift.
That really is. Yeah.
And mine was developed because of me being a teacher. So developed of me knowing what my students are good at and how to help them, even through college, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. My dear, it has been a pleasure.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. It's all good.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. Yeah. You have truly blessed me, as well as my viewers, my millions of viewers. I'm speaking it into being. Yeah. But you know, again, if it's anything, you know, let's stay connected. Let's talk offline.
Okay.
And, you know, because I definitely would love to work with you on developing some ideas, you know, as far as my own business, because it's like, it's not just the show, you know, God said, yes, that's your business. Your show is your business. He said that, you know, but there's other things, other streams that I want to also solidify in addition to that. So, and it's like, I downplay the fact that I am an author, but it's like, but you downplaying, you're leaving money on the table.
There you go. Money on the table, girl. You better go get those coins.
Yes, get them coins, right? So
get this money.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad we had. I sound like Carol Burnett. I'm so glad we had this time together, girl.
It was my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yes. So you have a wonderful night. Yes. And we will talk soon, okay?
Yes. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.